On Friday, the United States Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin canceled a plea agreement with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the mastermind behind the September 11th attacks, just 2 days after a deal was announced that would have removed the death penalty as an option. The agreements with Mohammed and 2 alleged accomplices revealed on Wednesday seemed to be steering their protracted cases toward resolution, but incited outrage among some families of the September 11th victims and drew criticism from prominent Republican leaders. In a memorandum to Susan Escalier, who oversaw the case, Austin stated, "I have determined that, in light of the significance of the decision to enter into pretrial agreements with the accused, responsibility for such a decision should rest with me." He formally withdrew the 3 pretrial agreements that had been signed on July 31, 2024. The legal proceedings against the 9/11 defendants have been mired in pretrial disputes for years, with the accused held at Guantanamo Bay military base in Cuba. According to the New York Times, Mohammed, Walid bin Attash, and Mustafa al-Hawsawi had agreed to plead guilty to conspiracy in exchange for life sentences, avoiding a trial that could result in their executions. Much of the legal wrangling has centered on whether the defendants could receive a fair trial after enduring systematic torture by the CIA in the aftermath of 9/11. While the plea agreements would have sidestepped this contentious issue, they also faced significant backlash from political opponents of President Joe Biden's administration. Republican lawmaker Mike Rogers, chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, called the deals unconscionable in a letter to Austin, while House Speaker Mike Johnson described them as a slap in the face to the families of the nearly 3,000 victims of the September 11th attacks. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, labeled the agreements a sweetheart deal with 9/11 terrorists, asserting at a campaign rally, "We need a president who kills terrorists, not negotiates with them." Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was considered one of Osama bin Laden's most trusted and intelligent associates before his capture in Pakistan in March 2003. He spent 3 years in secret CIA detention before being transferred to Guantanamo in 2006. The trained engineer has claimed responsibility for masterminding the 9/11 attacks from A to Z, and was involved in several significant plots against the U.S., where he had studied. Walid bin Attash, a Saudi of Yemeni descent, is alleged to have trained 2 of the hijackers involved in the September 11th attacks. U.S. interrogators reported that he confessed to purchasing explosives and recruiting members for the team responsible for the attack on the USS Cole, which killed 17 sailors. After the U.S. invasion of Afghanistan in 2001, he sought refuge in Pakistan, where he was captured in 2003 and subsequently held in secret CIA prisons. Mustafa al-Hawsawi is suspected of managing the financing for the 9/11 attacks. He was arrested in Pakistan on March 1, 2003, and also held in secret prisons before being transferred to Guantanamo in 2006. Guantanamo Bay, an isolated naval base, was used by the United States to detain militants captured during the War on Terror following the September 11th attacks, aiming to prevent the defendants from claiming rights under U.S. law. The facility once housed approximately 800 prisoners, but many have since been repatriated to other countries. President Biden had pledged to close Guantanamo before his election, but it remains operational,